Hello and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be finally talking about the Plain Jane Remastered palette. Now I do have the original and I'll be showing you some comparison swatches in case you are an OG of Adept and you have that palette or you remember that palette. The palette contains their new formula as well as some change ups in colors. So there's 5 very smooth, finely milled eyeshadows, and then the rest of the shadows are a little bit more topper-like. They have a bit more sparkle to them and just maybe a tiny bit of texture just as you're picking them up, but they do completely smooth out. And I did buy this palette myself. I do have an affiliate code with Adept Cosmetics and I will put it up on the screen in case you're interested in this palette. It is currently in stock. So I'm going to be creating 2 looks and then I'll give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. So for the mattes, I'm going to be dipping into the Beautopsy palette and the Monochromance palette from Hindash, priming with the Sigma eyeshadow primer. Now I definitely know I want to use at least one of the more smooth metallic black-based multi-chromes on one lid, and then on the other eye I'll use some of the more topper-like looks, but overall I do want to do simpler looks. Taking Hearts from the Monochromance palette, and I'm popping that right into the crease with the What's Up Beauty R108 brush. This is from their new bundle that they sent to me, and I'm just putting that right here. I'm slowly working it upwards, and I'm gonna use a little bit of heavy to further blend that out in the crease, smooth it out. And then on the outer corner, I'm going to go in with Heartthrob, the same brush, and I'm just going to slowly packing it on the outer corner, getting it up in there, and I'm going to bring it in just a little bit, and then I'm going to use Heartthrob to blend the edges out of that. Next, taking the What's Up Beauty R107 brush, and I'm dipping into the Beautopsy palette. I'm picking up Intra, and it's just going to deepen up right along my lash line. I don't want to bring it up too much. Just a little bit of depth in here, and then I'm going to take that just a little bit underneath my lower lash line as well. And then I'm going to blend Heart from the Monochromance palette into that. Then going in with the Fair Pixie Epoxy, just going to put that basically almost all over the lid, just a tiny bit. Picked up ACI 11 on the What's Up Beauty 110 brush, and it's going to go onto the outer portion of my lid, and I'm blending it into the outer corner. That is so pretty. It looks like it has like almost some sort of silvery flecks throughout it. I wonder if it's a little hollow maybe. And then I'm going to take ACI 10 and I'm going to put that into the inner portion. I did do a feature look with this shadow in a reel quite a few weeks ago, probably months at this point, and I just put the shade all over the lid. It was so stunning. It's so metallic. I'm going to put it on the inner corner as well. It is so beautiful. You could definitely use this as a highlighter as well. Here's the first finished look. For the second look, I think I want to go in with the purple shimmers and maybe even the blue. So I'm going to take Antidote. I'm going to place that right into the inner third of my crease. I'm using the Blend Bunny B5 brush, just nice and fluffy. I really want this to be very diffused. And then I'm going to take Forever from the Monochromance palette. The purple was also from the Monochromance palette. And I'm just going to put that right here, definitely very pastel. I feel like it's kind of mixing with what was on the brush with the purple and it's getting a little dulled down. Then I'm going to take it out here and just kind of disperse whatever's left on the brush. Picked up ink on the Makeup Shack T63 brush. I just posted a video reviewing the Makeup Shack brushes and I talked quite a bit in depth, I think, about this brush and how much I love it. It just really gets up in there. Just slowly packing it on. I'm definitely going to go in. Actually, do I want to go in? I might just leave it. I'll just leave it. You know, I sometimes feel like I'm always deepening everything up, so maybe sometimes I can just leave it alone and let it be like a lighter kind of look. And I'm just blending this out with Forever. And then I'm really trying to wipe off this brush and I'm going to go in with Dote. And I'm going to deepen up this purple. And then I'm going to go into Anti and just bring it up, really blend it in. And then, of course, going in with the Fair Pixie Epoxy. Placing that on my lid. I'm pretty much going to take it all over the lid and tap on it to take off any excess. You really don't need a lot of this. Using the What's Up Beauty 110 brush, I'm taking ACI 8. This is probably one of my most favorite shades from this palette. I mean, just look at that. It's so beautiful. And then I think I'm going to take ACI 6 onto the inner portion of that. Oh, that looks so beautiful with that purple. Forgot to finish off the lower lash line. I'm taking the R112 brush from What's Up Beauty, and I'm just connecting my lower lash line here. Very precise. But then I'm going to take this brush, the T63 from Makeup Shack, and a little bit of Forever. I'm just going to take that on the edges and further blend this out. I think I want to do something for the lower lash line, so I'm going to go in with the 112 brush because I think it really gets up in there really nicely. So maybe ACI 7. So I'm picking up ACI 7. You can see it's got a little texture to it, and I'm going to mist my brush with just a little bit of water. And then I'm going to spread that across the lower lash line. That looks so pretty. And then I love the way it really looks green when I layer it over the blue. Here's a second finished look. I absolutely love my Plain Jane, the original palette. I really just love the brightness of this. I feel like the remastered palette is maybe a little bit more wearable. Really, mostly the bright pink has been taken out. And part of me really liked the brightness of the other palette because of that pink, but the other part of me does also like the fact that there's some a little bit darker shadows that are more opaque and a more finely milled metallic formula versus like a sparkly formula. So I do like that they added a different texture and also depth in that sense. There are some shadows that I feel like maybe I prefer a little bit from the other palette in terms of texture. I'm just gonna pop up the swatch comparison up real quick. I feel like they're still very, very shiny and sparkly, but there's something about the old formula. It's almost like it's a little bit more piecey. And of course, it does feel different because of the change in formulation. But I think you can especially tell in ACI 11 that the old formula has a bit more sparkle to it. That being said, I much prefer ACI 10 in the remastered version. It's much more shiftier, and I wasn't a huge fan of that formula in that palette. While it's nice, I definitely feel like this is a huge improvement. It's way smoother, it's way more metallic, while this shade in the original palette felt a little bit more on the dry side. I think the original palette was definitely more just in general topper-like. There were some shadows that were a little bit more opaque and a little less topper-like. And also for the price, I love that there's some multi-chromes in here. I really feel like this makes it even more special than the previous because of those multi-chromes. I've definitely seen these two kinds of multi-chromes before, but those at 1.5 grams will run you at least $17, give or take. So I think this palette is great value. Let me know in the comments below if you bought the remastered palette, or if you have the original. Do you have both? Which one do you prefer? I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.